Hi, welcome to CyberOne training. Today we're going to show you how to import obligations into the system using the data import wizard. So the first place to start is in the obligations tab. And what we want to do first is we want to add the name of the obligation that we want to upload. So we create a new obligation. We can either create a new obligation and just add the name there, put in the version and a description, and then click save. And so I've done that. We're going to be adding OWASP today. So as you can see, I've added the name, description, name, version, and a description. Going to be adding these top 10 privacy risk projects. And then I clicked save. So then once I've done that, I'm going to go to setup and to in the administration section to data management, and click that to open, and then select the data import wizard. And then I'll launch the data import wizard by clicking the launch button. Next, we want to go to custom objects, and we're going to select obligation sections. So we're going to start by loading the obligation sections, and then we're going to load the control library. So first we will just scroll down and find our obligation sections. And here it is. And we're going to do add new records. And what we want to do is we're actually going to match this by the obligation name that we've already put in. And then what I want to show you is we've created a spreadsheet with all of the names of the different obligation sections in it. You can see that here. So I've already put this in a spreadsheet. I have the obligation name that I'm going to map, and then the section name, section description, and the content source that I've wanted to create. I'm just going to delete this. This was a download from another environment. And now this CSV is ready to go because it has all of the fields in it that we want to map. And note that I have saved this as a CSV file, not an Excel spreadsheet. We need to do uploads with a CSV. Okay, so then I'm going to just drag my CSV file over. So I'm just going to grab it and drop it in here. And there it will show you that it has been uploaded. And then I'll click next. Now I can see that everything we need is mapped except for the obligation name. So I'm going to click map and choose obligation. That's my mapping. Now I know that it's going to map correctly. And then I'm just going to click next and then start import. Now I click OK. And then if I go back to my obligation record by clicking into the obligations tab and opening OWASP, there you can see that now the obligation sections have been added. And so now we're ready to add the control library. So we're going to go back to setup again. It's exactly the same process, to data management, data import wizard, launch the wizard. And this time we're going to be selecting control library from the custom objects. Make sure you have a few different choices here. Make sure you select control library, add new records. Same thing again. This time we're going to be mapping to the obligation section name. Again, I've prepared a CSV file with all of my different controls and the different fields. Again, these fields map to our fields in the CyberOne platform. So I'll drag my CSV file over, click next. I'm going to check that everything's mapped. Now this time we don't need to map the obligation name. We're going to connect to the section. Just going to map that in. And then I click next again, start import, and OK. And again, now if I go back to my obligation record, I can see that 78 controls have been added. That's correct. And they're all here connected to the different obligation sections appropriately. And then if I go to the control library, I can create a view to see the controls in the control library. So I'm going to go to create new view. I'm going to call this OWASP. And then I'm going to sort this by the content source. So I'm going to put content source, contains. Then I can use my CSV to check what I want from my content source. As you can see, it just says OWASP. I'm going to use OWASP. And then I'll add the content source, control name, control description, obligation section, and obligation name. I can keep this visible just to myself, or I can make it visible for everybody. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to click save. And there you can see there's your control library created for your OWASP. So that concludes our training for today. Thank you very much.